Ever tried speaking French, but the person just responds in English, making you want to give up? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why you don't need a perfect accent to speak French confidently. When I got to France for the first time, I went to McDonald's, tried ordering in French, but the cashier just responded to me in English. Despite that, I continued speaking in French with her anyway. And that's when I realized that confidence in French is what matters more than perfection. It's important to know that accent anxiety is normal when you're first starting to speak, but it doesn't define you. Now, of course, when you are speaking French in France or anywhere else that speaks French, people are going to hear your accent. That's the first thing that they'll notice, and they will judge you for it. But you have to just get past that and ignore that. While it is discouraging, uh, your mindset is what matters most. The next realization you need to make with this process is that when people switch to English when you try to speak French with them, it's not necessarily because of your French level or your proficiency. When people try to speak French with somebody, that person may just not want to speak French with any non-native speaker. And when they shut you down, it's not a reflection of you personally. The next trap that a lot of people fall into when they're on this journey is they they think about the idea of fluency, and oftentimes they'll associate fluency with perfection. And when they do that, they'll think, "Oh, I'll be fluent when I have mastered a whole bunch of words and phrases, and when I can sound exactly like someone from France when I try to speak." But that's just not a sustainable goal for you to achieve. So to change it up, you need to think of fluency as just being able to use the language and communicate with it in the way that you need to. So as long as you can understand other people and you can communicate your ideas and needs to them, even if your French speaking still sounds messy, that's still fluency. It's still you're still fluent if you can get done what you need to with the language, even if it isn't perfect. When people think of practicing French, they often think of long study sessions or boot camps, but that's really the wrong way to approach studying or practicing because it's not it's just another thing that isn't sustainable. I mean, maybe you can study for 2 hours in one burst, but then after that you won't want to go back to studying anymore because you'll be so tired and exhausted. That's why you need to start small. You need to practice with, a classmate, or if you can find a French club in your area that has a lot of non-native speakers who are learning as well, you can practice with them. And it doesn't have to be very long either. If you can just have a short 5 or 10 minute conversation once a week or a couple times a week, that small sustainable practice beats intense studying that you can only keep up once or twice here and there. It's also very easy to get bored if you're studying French pronunciation and speaking just from a textbook alone. Because if you're reading all the rules and everything by yourself, there's no you don't have people to hold you accountable or people to help make it fun. Don't forget that success with learning a language starts in your head, and that's what will carry you further faster. Not grammar or how often you study. Now, I know a lot of people who have learned English as a second language, and when they were first starting out, their grammar really wasn't that good, and sometimes it was hard to understand them. But they had confidence. They knew they could master English eventually if they practiced enough. So they just kept speaking and they embraced the imperfections and they still they still did it and I still was able to understand them most of the time. And that was what led them to keep improving. Because if they let the imperfections stop them, then there wouldn't have been anything to improve on. But since they had the confidence to keep going, and since they gave themselves positive affirmations about their journey, they could keep going and give themselves the potential for improvement. I hope this video helped you with your French speaking journey if you're a beginner and you're facing challenges with your accent, and a lot of people don't want to talk to you because of how you sound. I'm also working on launching a French Confidence Reset program for beginners, and I'm going to announce that very soon on this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.